Hello, Auburn family. This is your boy, Jason Campbell, your host of the Own to Victory podcast, former quarterback here at Auburn, 2000, 2004. I got a great co-host again today. Jason Caldwell is back with us on the show today, 247 Sports at Auburn. Jason, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah, good to be back. And at 2000, it was a long time ago. We're getting a little older now, but and hey, I'm glad to be here and enjoying these podcasts where get a chance to know some of these student athletes and coaches a lot better. I think it's a great tool for On to Victory to be able to put out to folks.
Yeah, you also got that fresh cut today. You usually have
I
a hat
actually
on. Now you got that fresh
I'm actually
cut.
going to get it cut. This is a little long for me, so I got to get it ready for season here.
Okay, got a little time, but we lost a guy that was part of Auburn family, Coach Price. That was there, coach with me from 2000, 2004, our D-line coach. They just laid him to rest this past weekend. Talk about Coach Price real quick, what he meant to the program, what you knew of him as a person.
Yeah, no, I wrote about him a couple weeks ago, the Monday after, and it was such a different time then, Jason. You know it. We used to be able to walk on the halls, and we'd come in and hey, we might pop our head into a position room with you and Al Borges just talking football or whatever it was, and Petrino and all those guys, but Terry Price and Don Dunn and Hugh Nall and Eddie Grand and Greg Knox. There was a group of guys that were together for so long, and before social media, it was an open door policy. And so I got to know those guys so well. And just thinking about the times we had, and now it seems like a foreign concept because it is, but you'll remember it. In 2004, you guys went to every football game. We're at every practice, every day, the whole time. I mean, I saw the whole season unfold before it happened on the practice field. So I got to see coaches and so got to know those guys better than any coaches I've known since then, because it's just so different.
All right.
And Terry was a guy that loved his guys. Now he coached them hard. He got after them.
Yeah.
But he loved his guys. And so unfortunately, it teaches you how precious life is, and to make sure you always tell folks how special they are to you.
Yeah, he was always a great coach, and to me, he was always a big fella. That was his line. But people don't notice as much, but he was a huge barbecue guy. And on Thursday nights, the D line definitely enjoyed his meals and barbecue and everything. But flipping subjects here, now getting back to the Auburn guys that are newcomers. We're gonna call this the Newcomer show. Yeah, we have two young guys coming on today that was really great athletes in high school, names all across the board on everyone's charts. Both flipped from other commitments to end up signing with Auburn, which I thought was a huge get for us this year. I first got Kayin Lee that we're about to bring on. People you don't know about him, you better get to know his name. This is a tremendous athlete. He's filled with force. He loves to hit. You don't hear a lot of DBs that say they like to hit. He hits with power. He's from Ellenwood, Georgia. We was able to flip him from Ohio State to Auburn, which is a lot closer drive, I'm pretty sure, for his parents, which they would enjoy. But let's get him on the show and let him talk a little bit about himself and what he's learned so far being at Auburn. Kayin, how you doing?
Good. How about y'all?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing good. Can't complain. How's it been so far?
Auburn's been amazing since I got here, so I only look forward to seeing more fans, just being able to grow here and become a better man overall here and win the Natty.
All right.
Yeah.
So Kayin, you from Ellenwood, Georgia, and everything. You was going to Ohio State. You was committed to Ohio State for a while. Talk about the process a little bit, like why Auburn was able to creep in and be able to get you here.
Auburn is just overall, it just felt like more of a family, and it's just like I grew up with my grandparents also, so them being able to make all my most of like all my games dang near like all my home games, it's like it just means the world to me, because I know they wasn't gonna be able to travel from here. I mean, from Ellenwood all the way to Ohio every weekend. So that being in place, and then like the travel distance from my home, that's nothing. And then like I know it's just like I feel like I can get on the field right away here and like be able to help my team and be able to just do everything I can and be able to win.
Okay, how much did things change for you when the new staff got in place with Coach Freeze, and then you bring in a guy like Coach Crime and these guys? How much did that ramp things up for Auburn in your mind once these guys got in place?
They all straightforward with you. Like they gonna tell you what it is and what it ain't straight off the rip. They ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. They just want you to come in. If you work, you go play, and then like it's more than like a coaching and like player standpoint. It's like a family for like I know for me and for Coach Zach, Coach Etheridge most definitely like me and him is like a brother relationship. We could talk at it from that standpoint and like to a player and coach's standpoint. That's how the connection is.
Yeah, Zach was a guy that bridged last coaching staff to this staff. Having him as that recruiter and a guy, how important was that for you in Auburn, and having him be a part of this from the last staff to this staff?
It's kind of good because he's been on me since I've been in like 10th grade. So it's a guy that I can trust most definitely. And like he's been all in with me. So it's like a lot that goes into it, but stuff like that.
Yeah, Kayin, you talk about being an athlete. You know, DBs are mostly track guys. You know, you guys can run, and you have to be able to run with these receivers and be all over the field, especially in man coverage. Talk about, you know, being here early in the spring. You were one of the guys that was able to come in January and then go through some winter workouts and go through spring ball, which coaches, you know, they rave about you and what they was able to see from you. What did you learn yourself about, you know, about spring ball, something that you kind of seen like, okay, I seen these guys on TV before, but now actually lining up in the SEC in a spring practice. Tell us a little bit about so far, how's it going for you and what did you learn?
Most definitely it's been like, it was a change. I remember first day, I know like, I'm thinking it's going to be like almost like, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be like high school, but it was a challenge though. Cause like everything moving so fast and stuff. So you have to be able to, you gotta actually stay in shape, and you gotta actually like keep up with the pace and be able to pace yourself, like, and then like the strength of things, the speed of things with the players and their speed, their strength is different from high school also. So it's just you have to adapt, and I gotta play with like more finesse right now till I start learning more of the little things that they teach me in practice and stuff like that, and just ways to win every rep I can.
What was the biggest surprise for you? What, because I know people think about it and they think about size and speed, all those things. Were you surprised at how much work off the field goes into being a football player in college? Because high school, you work and you do things, but the film watching, the position meetings, the group meetings, all the things that you have to learn. How big of a surprise was that for you?
Yeah, it wasn't that much of a surprise. We did that in like high school, so it's really about the same thing. It's really something I'm already used to. But like it was the only thing that it wasn't a surprise. I knew it was coming, but like I knew that the speed and the strength of things was gonna be different. That's about it. But I knew I would have to adapt to that. Everything else, like the position meetings, the film, and all that, we was doing that in high school, so it's about the same.
Yeah, you're a guy that like to play man coverage. You're not afraid of it. But like I said, most corners like they don't like contact. Let's just be honest. Some guys like to be able to cover over the field, but when it comes to coming up and hitting that running back, sometimes it's a little bit of a hesitation there. But you don't have any hesitation. Talk about being what we consider a dog at corner. A guy that's has a knack for the football, always want to be around the football. Talk about where you get that from and what makes that a part of your game that you want to see people to know about you.
I just like to play fast and aggressive. I know like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life is play football and be able to make money with that. And then after that, make some that has to do with football, make money with something that has to do within football. But I know right now, like this all I got, so I'm gonna give it all I got when I'm playing it. So I'm not scared of like risking nothing. Like I'm a risk it all, like on the field. Like it's every play. So I'm just trying to make a play every single play, like it's my last play.
Yeah, how valuable was being able to go through the spring to learn the defense, to be able to get used to coaches and your teammates as you prepare for your freshman year? That coming in early, was that a big deal for you?
Most definitely. I feel like I got a head jump on things. So everything that we're going through right now is like a review for me. So I'm basically just getting on top of it, learning other positions, what like they got to do what their job is to do, so it can help me with my job and like so I can know where my teammates are going to be at certain coverages and where they're not going to be in certain coverages, like that type of standpoint.
Yeah, you look at that room, man. This DB room is deep. This
Most
is a
definitely.
really, really good room. You talk about DJ James and Nehemiah Pritchett, two veteran guys that's been around Auburn for a while. And then you talk about Keontae Scott, who's been here now for over a year, was a big JUCO guy that we got last year. Talk about what you've seen so far from this room as a whole and how you feel like you'll fit in this season coming up.
I mean, I came in early, so they treat me like I'm one of them already since I came in with my head down. I already started working and stuff like that. So they see what type of mindset I got. They see I want to be where they at one day, how they finna go to the draft and all that. I'm proud of them boys. So I'm just taking pieces from their game and adding it to my game and just going day on day, getting better from what I'm seeing from them in practice as them being vets and stuff like that. Just trying to add it to my game and get better.
Got a Georgia flavor with some of the young guys coming in with Colton and Tyler. You guys, is that a lot of fun, guys that you've known and competed against and with, to be together as kind of the nucleus of the future of that position? How fun has that been to kind of help them along this process this summer?
It's pretty cool. So I know our class we go turn it up a notch with this little DB class we got that just came in. So y'all just stay ready. Y'all just look out.
The DBs always talking that noise, right, Jason? This is how it is 24/7 on the field. Anytime, it's noise talking, joy and back and forth with the receivers. So you had some young receivers that signed with us this year. You also had some veteran guys that was able to come over from the portal. Some of the guys we haven't seen yet, they wasn't here during the spring. Talk about, what you've seen so far from our receiver room, because you are one of the DBs and y'all are going against each other doing some workouts and stuff that people should probably pay attention to, come this fall.
Y'all should most definitely watch out for all that speed that's on the field. It's a whole lot of speed. That's one thing everybody should be worried about. And our guys, they out there to make plays, though. We just got to put it all together from our spring and all that. It's gonna be a show for them.
Who's the guy? Any of the newcomer guys that transferred in that you've gone and said, "Oh, that guy's going to be a problem"? Is there anybody that you say,
on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, one of the wide receivers.
One of the guys that transferred in, I believe Shane from Jackson State.
Yeah,
be a problem.
Yeah.
I say him for the most part, and Nick.
Nick Martin,
yeah. Just the size. Both those guys are really big receivers too, aren't they?
Yeah, they tall and they got a stride on them.
Yeah, so they have you listed at 5'11". I think you're closer to 6 feet, and you still got 3 more years to grow. So, I going against big receivers, you're going to see some in the SEC this year. You'll see a lot of them. You prefer shorter receivers, or you prefer bigger receivers. You're a dog anyway. So, how do you change your game plan up when you get ready to face a taller guy versus a guy that's similar size?
I don't want to put out how I changed the game plan, but just know I like guard either one. But I don't really got no preference, but either one, I just like it. But it's a different technique for the different size they are and stuff like that. How you play it though.
For you, what's your mindset now as you're 3 weeks away from beginning practices and getting ready for fall camp? What's the mindset for you guys this summer? You had a little time off around the 4th, but you've been working hard. What's the mindset for you, especially for this freshman group, as you get ready for year number 1?
Grind and make plays, win games, and get my name out there. And I most definitely want to be able to achieve a few goals this year.
Well, I tell you what, the season will be here for you guys start actually practicing August the 1st. And, that's just around the corner. And, that first game against UMass, I'm pretty sure that you can't wait. You'll be amped up and everything. But,
Yes,
I want to see if Jason has one more question. We always do something, Kayin, where I have 5 questions that fans want to hear. It's kind of rapid fire and everything. Then you just kind of give us a quick answer, and we'll go from there. But Jason, you have anything else you want to ask him?
No, good. I just appreciate the time and giving folks an insight into the mind of a young DB that's going to be on the field a lot this year. So I know I'm looking forward to watching it, Jason. So have at it, fire away.
Yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and let's do this, man. Let's go ahead and put you on the hot seat a little bit. Talk about what's your favorite player growing up as I wouldn't necessarily say a hero, but someone you looked up to or like to tailor your game after.
I like Jalen Ramsey and Marshawn Lattimore.
Okay. Two really good corners. Night before big games, people always say they want to know like what's in the mindset of a big corner or a quarterback or receiver. Take us through a night before a big game. What's going through your head?
I'm probably looking at film, looking at a little bit more film on who I got to play the next day on their tendencies, stuff like that. But I'm really just chilling for the most part. Other than that, I ain't doing too much, nothing special or nothing like that.
Do you get nervous before games?
I mean, I don't really be nervous too much. It'd be like a little bit of jitters, but it don't be nervous or nothing because I know I don't work for this moment. I know God with me, so I ain't really nervous about nothing when I'm on the field.
Yeah, I know you're not nervous because people always ask me that question. I said, no, you have a little bit of jitters in your stomach until that first play happens. And it's mostly because you want to perform so great that you're afraid of missing something. That's more so the nervousness.
I'm really not more so nervous. I'm more so like antsy and like, what's the word that that adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline. Yes. And see, you guys, you gotta get to pump locker room music. When we was coming through, Jason, it was quiet as a mouse. Everyone had to have the headphones on or in over to the side. But now these guys get a chance to pump music in the locker room. They get a chance to, they got that great sound system in the stadium. So, it's just another thing that kind of gets that adrenaline even going even more. So, I can't wait to see you in action, man. What's your favorite food to eat the night before a big competition?
I like Alfredo.
Okay. Any chicken in it? Shrimp?
Fettuccine, like shrimp and chicken, yeah.
Okay. Loading up on some pasta. Get some carbs. What's your favorite place to eat at in Auburn?
Hollers.
Okay. Last one, man. Last one. People always want to say Auburn has some traditions. You got the Tiger Walk, you got the Eagle flying, you got Rollins Tumor Corner, which you won't be able to do unless it was basketball season, or baseball season. But talk about what you're looking forward to as one of your Auburn traditions that you probably look forward to the most.
Most definitely the Tiger Walk. That's gonna be exciting every single game day.
Good deal. Well, I tell you what, man, I can't wait to the season. I can't wait to see you lace it up and get out there and start getting some playing time and some action. We think you're going to be one of the great corners before you leave Auburn. On the other spot of it as well, when Georgia comes to town, Alabama comes to town. They're in Jordan-Hare this year, and I know you can't wait. And do you look forward to playing against Georgia? This is my question. I played with Ronnie Brown and Carlos Rogers. Carlos won the Jim Thorpe Award. And at Auburn, he's from Georgia. And then Ronnie went the number 2 pick, and he's from Georgia. So Georgia guys have had a lot of success at Auburn. Yeah. Is that a game that you look forward to the most because you are from Georgia?
Yeah, most definitely. I was committed to Georgia at one point. So most definitely, I got some guys over there I know, guys I went to high school with too. So I'm excited for that game.
Good deal. Kayin, appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on, and have a good one, brother. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right, Jay. I tell you what, what a great episode with a young man. You can tell right now that his tenaciousness about playing football. When he said he doesn't shy away from any contact, he doesn't go in hesitant. He's not worrying about things he can't control. He obviously has his mind set on goals and dreams that he wants to achieve, and him being raised by his grandparents, I think speaks a lot of volumes of what they've done with this young man.
Yeah, confidence. That's one thing you all think about as a DB. You think about confidence, and you can hear a guy that understands and trusts what he's done, how he's trained, and another part of that is he talked about preparation. Cedar Grove is a really good high school, and Auburn's had pretty good success from Cedar Grove over the years. Marcus McNeil, coming from there. I mean, and Jonathan Palmer, JP, those guys. That's a school that has produced some really good players over the years, and so the preparation that he's had to get ready for this moment, you can hear it already. And I think he's going to be a guy that is in the rotation at corner and going to be a big special teams guy, in my opinion. I think he's a guy that's going to really help out on special teams, do some of those things, because that spring under his belt should help him be prepared for those moments. Maybe a little easier than a true freshman having to jump in and, nowadays they can work on learn a defense through the summer and have some time. So they're a little bit ahead of where they used to be, but it's still a big transition once you go out there on the field. And you know how it is. If you're not prepared that first week, all of a sudden your reps go away and boom, it's over with. This redshirt season time.
Right, because you already know, because those first 3 weeks of practice, you really have 3.5 weeks to start gearing up for game one. And those 3.5 weeks is scrimmaging, putting you through a lot of, different scenarios as far as like, situational football. That's where games are won and lost. And coaches want to see who can react in those moments. And then once you get to those moments, if they feel like you're ahead of schedule, you're off the red shirt list, because it's going to take a week and a half to prepare for the first game. And so 3 weeks of it is just dedicated to see who can play this year. And like you said, that last week and a half is, okay, who we're taking on the roster to get ready for the 2023 season. So, I think Kayin, him coming in early, we'll get a chance to talk with Kedra here in a minute. Another guy that got early reps in spring ball. And those are the things that if you're able to come in early and graduate high school in December, hopefully these guys do go back and go on their prom. You always encourage them, hey man, go back and go your prom.
Be a kid. Be a kid.
Go back and enjoy your high school graduation with your class. Go walk with them. Do those things. But in the meantime, you get a chance to come to college early and get acclimated quickly, because you kind of get a 5-month jump on the guys that's coming in the summer. We've had some guys like Tyler Scott, Colton Hood, other two corners that we signed, J.C. Hart, that we signed is coming in, that came in June, after Memorial Day weekend. So he's 5 months ahead of those guys, so those guys going to have a little bit of ways to have to go to catch up, but they're talented as well. And you just never know how fast kids pick up on things. But I think this roster is built to go this year with the guys that we have and redshirt a few guys and not lose their year, but then build them to be the next group of corners to come in next year.
Yeah, and the biggest thing right now too is, you're talking about how the first couple of weeks you're trying to figure out who can help. It's so different than it was 25 years ago. Right. 25 years ago, when you're getting started, the first couple of weeks we're trying to get guys in shape. Now that if you don't show up day one ready to go, your season's already over with pretty much. And so that's what the whole summer's about. These guys, that's why guys get here in June now, as opposed to showing up in August. You showed up in August, and if a guy was in shape, you said, okay, well, that guy might have a chance to play. A lot of times that wasn't the case for a true freshman. Nowadays, these guys prepare. Even the guys that aren't here early, they've had a month and a half of conditioning and strength and conditioning time to be as prepared as possible to go. And they've had a little bit of book learning and on offense and defense along the way too, to help them out. So, guys are more prepared than they've ever been, but you're right. It still matters how quickly you can come up and show that you're ready to go. You don't make those mistakes. You can line up where you're supposed to line up. All those things are going to be really important for these young guys, stepping on the field those first couple of days.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And like you said, getting that playbook in your hands, I tell these guys when they first get here, I say, look, man, your number one thing should be is making sure that you're focused and locked in your playbook over this summer, because summers to come, you'll probably be in summer school as long as while you're still playing ball, so you can graduate on time or graduate early. But you just think about this overall team so far. You know, Coach Montgomery Coach Roberts, you know, our two coordinators, what they bring to the table. But as you were saying a while ago, a lot of these guys come in shape because back when I came out, it wasn't a lot of 7-on-7 high school ball across the nation. You know, now these guys are participating in 7-on-7s all over the nation. And so you get a chance to take a lot of things that they're doing in high school and position it into college. So they're walking into the door already with some experience of doing college style plays. And like I said, with all these different camps and different things that they do now with 7-on-7 and elite camps and all of that, they're coming in a little bit more exposure. And they're able to walk in from day one and be able to compete for starting jobs and not have the red shirt.
Yeah, and it's why you see more true freshmen make an impact at key positions than ever before. And you're coming in as a true freshman. You didn't have an offensive lineman that came in and played. And I know the 7-on-7 in part of that, but what it is there's more camp experience. And you're right, the system fits. These guys are used to playing spread the field tempo, where they have to be prepared to do those things. And then you step in and you play a very similar scheme in college. It allows you that transition to be much easier. And obviously at quarterback and wide receiver, those are two positions where it was really tough. Running back, you could break in early as a true freshman. It was tougher at quarterback and wide receiver. Now we see those guys, and heck, we've seen guys start right out of the gate. We saw Bo do it. We've seen others do it because of the preparation that they've done. More passes, more reps than ever for wide receivers and quarterbacks, and they're more prepared to come in and play.
Yeah, no doubt about that, because especially like you said, the running back and the quarterback position, you know, like I said, they get exposed so much. And then just over the years, you know, Auburn has been a team that when we run the ball successfully and we throw the ball accurately, we pretty much have a good defense, and you know, we're able to win some really big games and be competitive. I think this team will be competitive this year. I think, you know, they're going to shock a lot of people. I think we're going to have a lot of our young guys really step up and make a lot of plays for us this year, and they will be in rotation. That first year is all about getting your feet wet. Just find a way to get in rotation. You know, your sophomore year is kind of that year you look for to kind of kick off and get things going.